For the past 2 years, I've made videos on the games I want to see announced during the next 12 months, and 2018 is looking no different. In this video, I'll be going over 3 of my personal choices for the games I want announced this year. The list will be fully in my own personal opinion, so make sure to share with me yours down below in the comments, and for now, let's get started. Just like last year, one of the games I hope to see announced is Remedy's next game. Their first game that I played was Alan Wake on my PC, and I had a pretty enjoyable time with it. The game had an interesting story, fun gameplay, beautiful presentation, and was an overall great experience. It made me excited to play Quantum Break, and after a year of waiting, I was finally able to do so. It was only at the beginning of this year when I got my brand new PC, and the first game that I chose to play was Quantum Break. Just like Alan Wake, I thought the game was another great experience, combining a great mixture of storytelling, action-packed gameplay, and even a live-action TV series incorporated with the narrative. And while there were a few flaws I had with the game, I generally thought that the game was extremely underrated and deserved better reception. So back to the game I want announced hopefully this year, Remedy's next game. What exactly is their new game, you might ask? Well, if you're hoping for a sequel to Alan Wake or Quantum Break, I'm sad to tell you that it won't be happening anytime soon. Remedy Entertainment has already confirmed that their next game will be a brand new IP. The one good thing is that it will once again be a third-person action-adventure game with a strong emphasis on storytelling. The game currently has no title except for the codename P7. For the time being, that's all we know about the game, which really isn't much. Nonetheless, I'm excited to see what Remedy can bring to the table this time around. We already know that Quantum Break sold extremely poorly, and I think that a big reason for that is simply the audience that the game was made for. Now, there will always be exceptions, but I think that the Xbox community simply prefers games like Halo, Forza, and Gears of War, as opposed to brand new ideas. As a result, Remedy's next game will be going multi-platform, as it will be released on Xbox One, PC, and even PS4. Personally, I think this will be a win-win situation, as Remedy will be able to get their game out to more people to enjoy, and PlayStation gamers will get to experience Remedy's talent in the form of a new game. Whether this game gets announced this year, next year, or any point in the future, count me in as excited. The Order 1886 was one of the most controversial games of 2015. When it launched, the game was heavily criticized for being a short game and ultimately resulted in a Metacritic score of only 63. The first time that I played the game, I thought it was pretty average with its incomplete story, repetitive gameplay, and straight up boring boss fights. There were still some good things to be said, like the absolutely stunning graphics and satisfying combat, but the game generally didn't leave much of an impact. About 2 years later, I returned to the game and beat it for a second time. By this time, I'd become a lot more mature and came around to enjoying the story a lot more. I still had a fun time with the gameplay and noticed the potential the game had if it ever got a sequel. Just think about the possible case. If The Order 1886 had a longer campaign, more gameplay variety, better boss fights, and a multiplayer mode, I'm sure it would be received far better. So why am I telling you this? Well, one of the games I want to announce is obviously Ready at Dawn's next game. Unfortunately, we already know that their next game won't be a sequel to The Order 1886. Instead, the game will be a third-person action game based on a brand new IP. It's sad that we won't be getting a sequel to The Order anytime soon, because I feel like I appreciated the game a lot more after beating it a second time. I hope that Ready at Dawn has learned from their mistakes that they made with The Order, and have even listened to community feedback for improvements on their next game. Personally, I believe that if they simply improve the things that I mentioned earlier, their next game could turn out to be one hell of a game. To close out this list, the third game I want announced is Rocksteady's next game. Unlike most hardcore fans, the first game that I played from them was Batman Arkham Knight, and even though I've heard that the diehard fans found the game disappointing when compared to its predecessors, I personally found it pretty enjoyable. It had an interesting story with memorable characters, and the gameplay was addictively fun. It was a super satisfying experience playing as Batman taking down villains throughout Gotham City. Arkham Knight also introduced the use of the Batmobile for the first time in the series, and even though I thought it was slightly overused, the tank chases and battles were still very enjoyable. Overall, Batman Arkham Knight left me excited to see what Rocksteady's next game would be. As of right now, we don't exactly know what their next game will be. There have been so many different rumors circulating about what Rocksteady is currently up to that I've sort of given up on trying to follow it. Some of these rumors include a brand new game based on Superman, a new installment for Batman, or even an entire game about the Justice League. Whichever game it is, it looks like it will once again be a game in the DC universe, and that has me very excited. Rocksteady recently tweeted on their Twitter account about their mocap studio, indicating that they could be in the mocap phase of their next game. It's been close to 3 years since the release of Batman Arkham Knight, and 2018 would be the perfect time for Rocksteady to announce their new game. And there you have it. These were my personal 3 games that I want to see announced in 2018. Of course, these 3 games were just in my personal opinion, so make sure to share with me your own list down below in the comments. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, so make sure to leave a like to support me, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. For now, I'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.